What's going on, guys? It's Cassius here on the Second Floor podcast. Welcome to the Calculated Coffee series. Today's guest is a 21-year-old entrepreneur, co-founder of the Compound Cut Club, Alec Barbero. Our conversation was based on his come up and how he got into the game of being a barber, his other entrepreneurial ventures, and how he's been paving his own way of success with Compound and his other businesses. So without further ado, guys, we had a fantastic conversation. Can't wait for you guys to tune in. Let's dive in. Alec, brother, thank you for coming onto the Second Floor, my man.
Glad to be here, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We talked about this for a while now.
We have, bro. We were talking about it months. I wanted to have you on months ago. Even before COVID, we were talking about having you on. I wanted to get into your story a little bit. Mm-hmm. I've known you for a couple years now.
3-4 years. Probably.
3-4 years, yeah. You've been a barber. You're an owner now.
Yeah.
You do content creation. You do a lot of things that, especially at your age, a lot of people don't do, or even at the same time they haven't taken the risks and investing in themselves as much as you have. So yeah, like I said, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no problem,
bro. So let's get into kind of your backstory a little bit before Compound was a thing.
Compound.
How did you get into the barbershop game? Mm-hmm. And what was the whole backstory behind that?
Well, I've told this story a lot of times actually, but I'm actually a high school dropout. So I was in grade 12 last semester. Instead of finishing that semester, I started working landscape for my basketball coach actually. So he knew I was skipping school to go work for him because he had a company. Mm-hmm. Me and my other friend, he's like my teammate, my best friend. We were both working. But after work one day, we were broke. We didn't have money for haircuts. But the hair's getting long. It's kind of hot day, landscape, just working with the wheelbarrow and stuff. But yeah, I cut his hair, he cut mine. Just from YouTube, he had like spare Walmart clippers. And then from my first haircut, I enjoyed it so much that I told myself already that was going to be my career. Like, you don't really know that you want to be something until you tell yourself that. Like, you could be like, okay, I like doing this. But until you tell yourself that you really like it and that you're going to become it, it's never going to be that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, what's something that you were like your podcast? You just do it, right? Mm-hmm. But once you actually tell yourself, oh, this is a thing, we're actually gonna do this, like you believe that you're actually doing it.
Yeah, no, I love that, man. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think everything I've done from the beginning, kind of relating to you, is like I've told myself that internally, where I want to do it before it's even manifested.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about the podcast years before, it actually manifested into what it is, right?
Exactly.
But no, that's awesome, man. So you kind of fell in love with, barbering, and then how long did it take you to get in? So did you get into it right away? Were you landscaping for a little bit? What was the?
So it was 2016 summer. I used my first paycheck. I was getting paid $15 an hour. I used like $300 to buy my own clippers because we were using Walmart clippers at the time. And then from then on, I started doing free haircuts. Did about 50 because it's free, right? Everyone just came. They saw the value. And then after that summer, started charging 10. So it took about half a year to start charging. So, and then it just went on. From there, started building my clientele.
Yeah. And you were working for other barbershops before Compound, right?
So summer 2016 to March 2017, I was cutting from home, just building up my own clientele. And then the barber I was going to was Jules. So you know Jules from Alex's Barbershop too, which is now my business owner for Compound. So I met him. He was already a successful barber. And there's me, high school dropout, just started getting haircuts from him. He saw the potential in me. And then he actually asked me to like someone was going on a vacation and he asked me to just take over because they needed barber. And yeah, I guess I started working there, starting off as a substitute, but ended up they wanted me to stay with Blue also, my coworker. So me and him started working there in March 2017.
Nice.
So yeah, just connection, I guess. He was my barber.
Yeah.
So just knowing him and being available when something comes up, the opportunity, and then I just took it.
No, that's awesome. And you've been kind of rolling with that since then, right? You've been just kind of building your clientele up, working.
That's a must.
You know, polishing your craft, right? When did the idea of Compound turning into a barbershop take place? Because I know from me personally, from knowing Jules back in the day, I actually performed at one of his, I think it was one of his first events for Compound when they were a clothing brand. Yeah. Or just a clothing brand. And I remember going, and I was actually one of the rappers on on stage, and I performed a couple songs. That's how I know Jules. I know when he had partners back in the day too. So when did it turn into the idea of turning Compound into what it is now?
So me and Jules always worked together at the barbershop. He had the clothing store, but it's just a clothing store. It wasn't like a actual barbershop yet. Me and Jules always just planned out our goal, and our dream was to always open up a barbershop. And if he has to put clothing aside for a bit to get that done, he just had to do it, right? I guess sacrifice one thing to get another. But we can always just get into it again if our barbershop's already done, which is right now actually. So now we're back into making clothes. We have our shipment coming in soon. And the foundation was the barbershop. So get to it first, and then everything else is kind of just, we can put in there, right? Yeah. And then we started working with this partner again too, Kuya John. Kuya John was his partner for the clothing before the barbershop. But, well, we don't want to break his dream of not having to do that anymore, right? Yeah. Just because me and Jules have a barbershop doesn't mean they can't make the clothing. So we put him back into the team. He's now handling he's an expert at doing that stuff. So he's handling that for us while we focus on cutting hair. He makes our clothes, and then we're back at it now. No, that's awesome. Why do you think Compound? You guys have built a good rep in the city. I know about it. A lot of people in my circle know about Compound. What was the idea with the brand? Like, what was the underlying factor that kind of gave it, you guys that real push to make an actual brand in the city? So first of all, even just the planning of the actual barbershop, we put the waiting area in the back. Like, do you remember? I do, yeah. It's in the back. Like, usually you walk in the barbershop, it's right in the front, right? You have a seat before you even see any barbers. That's actually strategized. I wanted to put that in the back so that when the clients walk in, all the barbers are forced to actually say hi to them. That's the whole different thing with us and other barbers, is barbers actually know the clients. It's a relationship, and it's a community. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you remember from Compound? Like, what's the thing that hits you? Like, what do you remember from it? The vibe. The vibe, experience, right? Yeah. The experience. Yep. Because even just, you're not just talking to your barber, you're talking to the whole shop. It's a whole team. Instead of it's just you and the barber. Yeah. All of a sudden, you got the whole team there. Everyone knows you. Yeah. Everyone says what's up. or at least we try to, right?
Yeah. No, that's smart, man. And I find like, the vibe is very I think it's very youthful. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
that's
Like
true.
it feels fresh. It feels fun to be in there.
It's
You know,
not.
there's people are
Yeah.
people are having fun. They're playing games.
Yeah.
You guys got the NBA players on the walls.
Yeah.
You got the hip hop music going.
Yeah.
So it feels very like fresh.
Younger.
Yeah.
Younger vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not too professional.
Yeah.
We try to still with our services,
Yeah.
but well, the barbers, there's 12 of us. Our average age is like 20 to 25.
Yeah.
So we can't be too professional if we're not as professional ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. You want to,
You know what I mean?
you still want to showcase
Yeah,
like your
still-
authenticity, like who you are.
Yeah.
As as you're coming up, I think the idea with like, so your team, does your team? How did you find your team?
Oh yeah.
How did that go about?
So yeah, networking, it's a very big step in opening up your own barbershop.
Yeah.
If me and Jules opened up, it would be one thing, but having our team is so important. We started building up our relationship with them even before the barbershop. Two of them we worked with at the old shop, Northside, but a lot of them we just met through barber meets, barber competitions. We stayed connected through Instagram, like Snapchat and all that, social media. That's the powerful thing about our technology now. We stay connected even though we don't see them as much. We still know what's going on with everyone's lives, which is a good thing because you start building up your connections even before you have a barbershop, right? So those people, I guess, we're friends. So even before, one of them, Arthur, he started off as my client. He wasn't a barber yet, just like with me and Jules.
Yeah.
I actually encouraged him to be a barber. I gave him his pair of clippers. So it's like digging your well before you're thirsty. You know what I mean? Start digging early before you even need them. And then when he became a successful barber already, I didn't even have to ask him to work with me. He's already, I'm working here.
Yeah.
That's my station.
Yeah.
First time he came to the barbershop, he wasn't even done yet. I didn't ask him to work with me. He just pointed out his station, said, "Yo, I'm working here. I'm bringing my stuff tomorrow." I'm like, "Okay, I didn't even hire you yet."
Yeah.
This guy just hired himself.
Yeah, he hired himself.
So, yeah.
It's funny how that works because, like, Jules did that for you.
Yeah.
And then now you're doing it for him. And
Yeah.
then, it kind of almost the cycle kind of repeats
Yeah.
itself. That's beautiful, man. I think, what made you like open, like, because a lot of, and I know this from many of my friends and people that I know, it's not as easy as just like opening up a business, right? A business takes time, it takes effort, it takes a lot of planning. And even with all that planning and preparation, you might not even go through with opening a business. I know how hard it is to run my own business. I've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of late nights. There's a lot of stuff that goes in through your head, especially because you're running it. You're the guy. You can't look at anyone else. And it doesn't stop at a 9 to 5. It's always, it's constantly, it's a 24/7 thing. So even before, what made you take the risk? What was the idea? What was the thing of like, yeah, I'm doing this no matter what happens? And what did your parents and like the people around you think when you were going through that?
So barbering is an essential. Everyone's hairs grow back. I guess that's the thing with barbering. I got lucky. This is my niche because everyone always needs it. But another thing is clientele. Me and Jules had a full clientele. As you know, it's hard to book with us. You have to book in advance. So with me and Jules' clientele alone, we can already afford the rent. There's no risk. We know there's other businesses that have higher risks because it's not always like that, right?
Yeah.
So with barbering, after you built up your clientele, you're pretty much set. Your clientele is your paycheck. So once I knew me and Jules had clientele, and the people that wanted to work with us had clientele, well, it just made sense for me and him, right? Because we don't want to be working for someone else that we don't know that's just making money off of us. We want to actually have our own shop. But
did you bring this up to Jules? Was this something that you guys thought about together?
yeah,
Or was he like, hey, I'm planning to, start this barbershop and I want you to come with? Like, how did the process come about?
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So me and Jules, it's not really like plan.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't like, okay, first step is this. We're gonna do this. We sort of just talked about it, like casually. Like we always told each other, Alec. He tells me, Alec, we're opening a barbershop. Okay, one day. It was always one day.
Yeah.
It was always one day.
Mm.
But I'm all about. I don't like planning. I'm more of a like I just do it and then figure it out type of guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, first step was hire an accountant. That was our first step. So what do we do first? So we just went on it step by step. Okay, what do we do first? It's me and Jules. This was final. Me and Jules are doing it. If everyone else wants to work with us, they can just work with us. But we'll open the shop. So I guess, yeah, it was never like he asked me.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like we had a goal.
Mm.
It was the same goal, so why not just work together?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what did your parents think? What did your family think about you, opening up your own shop?
My parents were never strict. They're always so supportive. Even with me dropping out of high school, they didn't care.
Mm.
Usually,
yeah,
like especially my parents from the Philippines.
Any immigrant
parents, bro.
They'd be like, what are you doing?
But they have a different mindset on anything.
Mm.
They just want me to be happy and my siblings. They don't care what we do. Like, I was skipping school in grade 12. They knew I wasn't happy with school. I didn't like school. They're okay with it. And then just with anything too. Like, they don't care about money.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that's my goal, to move them out of our house because we're renting. I want to buy them a house and then have everyone there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been supportive. No what you call it? They don't get anything. Yeah, no issues.
That's good, man, because I remember running around with a camera years ago, and I was like, yo, I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to shoot and edit videos all the time. And I was going through university, and my parents were always telling me to they were expecting me to become like a doctor, right?
Really?
Yeah. So I was planning to go into optometry school actually before this, but every day after school, after my classes, I was shooting or editing some sort of videos, or I was making music or something like that. So my mind was consumed after school. I never had I guess the programs that I was in, I was not passionate about, especially in sciences. But I was good at it. I got good grades and I did what I needed to do. But the support wasn't there from my family.
It wasn't.
It was difficult to really think, okay, I'm going to make this into a business. I'm going to, I'm going to show them, I'm going to see like, yo, like this actually makes money. Like you can actually do this for a living. It was a very difficult process for me. So that's good that you have parents that are like, hey, like, we support you as long as you're happy. Like that is something, that's a factor that a lot of people need, you know what I mean? And I think it's a very essential thing. Not saying that it's necessary. I think you can still do it. Like
you can still do it.
There's other people like such as me, you can still do what you want to do, but I think it takes, if you have that encouragement, I think it goes a long way. Man. So what got you into, doing you've starting to do a little bit of videos, you're starting to do a little bit of content creation, you're starting to, I know you're active on social media. Where did that come about? Have you just always loved social media? And is that something that you just kind of want to continue building off your brand?
Yeah. So with barbering, my main marketing tactic was social media to build up my clientele. But now I'm too booked up now. I don't need clientele anymore.
Yeah.
So my my skills in social media was okay. I wasn't like doing research about it. I was just posting my haircuts. So that got me to where I was, which was a barbershop owner at 20 years old, right? With my clientele. But now I'm starting to get into it more because during quarantine, actually, quarantine changed my life for the good, man. I was so bored at home. I didn't know what to do. I started off different businesses with my friends and family. So me and my friends, we started the fish business. Like we
I
import
remember
fish.
that. Yeah.
We import fish from Thailand and we sell them locally. So I wanted to get into video like you.
Yeah.
So now I actually get what you talk about when you come get a cut, talk about camera gear. I actually get that now because I took an online course for it. And then me and my brother, we started the flooring company, like anything epoxy.
Yeah.
So that was during quarantine. I wouldn't have done any of that if it wasn't for quarantine because I wouldn't have time. I would just be at the shop cutting hair all day.
Yeah.
And well, also the compound. I wanted to market for compound as well.
Yeah.
So with all of that stuff, I needed to gain more skills. I had to always learn new skills to market it better because I was just posting haircuts. It was just regular stuff.
Mm.
Also, another thing was the online course. I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
So I made a online course for barbers.
Is it it's like Busy Barbers or something?
Yeah,
like
the
that?
Busy Barber.
The Busy Barber. Yeah. Yeah.
So now I went from local, which is my barbershop and my other businesses, to now an online course you can sell anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So you get how much more I have to learn instead of just targeting local. Now I got the whole world.
You got the whole world. Yeah.
So it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
After finding out about those stuff during quarantine, I went to Toronto and the barber owner there has merch. He was telling me, "Oh, I get no sleep." Now I get all of that. There's always something to do now that it's online.
Yeah.
There's always something to do.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, what was your question again?
Well, the
Social media?
yeah, how did you get into it and what was
Yeah.
the yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess during quarantine, I found more opportunities
Yeah.
to answer the question, what's next? 20-year-old barbershop owner,
Yeah.
like, you would think I would just stop, right? And
Yeah.
just run my business. I guess I got bored because quarantine. And I found out what's next. There's
No.
always something next out there.
That's awesome, bro. Because I think, it's interesting to see, especially how young you are, to do all these things. Because me personally, when I was going through university, I was trying to figure out these things too, and trying to figure out how to run my own business and the loopholes. My business is not essential, right? So it's not hard. Well, especially right now in the pandemic, it's a lot more difficult for. I'm not having reoccurring clients, so it's really up and down. But in terms of the social, I think it's very interesting because you have a lot of entrepreneurial skill set. Like you have a lot of entrepreneur, especially with the mindset. You're doing multiple different things, right? You're doing multiple different businesses. You're expanding your reach outside of just being a barbershop owner. Why, like, what's the idea behind, like, how did you
come up with all
where did the entrepreneurship business mindset come from? Where did it all like stem from? Why are you doing all these things?
Oh, okay. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I asked myself that every day too, because I'm an immigrant. I came here when I was 11, grade 6 from the Philippines. Actually, in the Philippines, I grew up in like a farm. So I was trying to ask myself, did my parents do something? Did school teach me something? Did sports teach me something? I'm trying to find out where I got it from. Because in the future, when I have a kid, I want to tell him or make him the same as me, right? But I can't find it. I don't know what made me I am today. Maybe it's my parents being supportive. Maybe it's my friends being supportive. maybe I just don't know any other skill.
Yeah.
This is what I know, and this, I guess, I'm always just the type of person to be the best at what I do. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So
Yeah. Where does your work? I'm guessing your parents work hard, but
yeah,
does that work ethic come from your parents, or does it? Where does the like? Because a lot of people, like you said, they would just, they would cut. If they're a regular barber, you just cut hair, and that's all you do.
Yeah.
You're good. You got your clientele. You're good.
Mhm.
You're chilling, right? But you have been taking it to a whole nother level, and especially at your age, you're doing multiple things. And it reminds me a little bit of myself, and it reminds me of the other previous guests that I've brought on. They all are that entrepreneur mindset of what's next,
Yeah.
what can I do for
Yeah.
my business, how can I grow it. There's never the time of like, oh, we're good now. You never get to the end destination. It's always, okay, what's next? How can I add more? How can I add more? How can I continue building the empire? So I so much respect to you, man, because at such a young age you're killing it, and at the same time you are taking risks, and it's just awesome to see, this, not only the success, but I can't wait to see you in
Yeah.
a couple of years with you
No,
and
yeah.
Jules, and see what else what else is next. But I wanted to ask you, are you always going to stay in kind of the barbershop game, or
Yeah.
do you see, what do you see for yourself in like 5 or 10 years?
Oh,
Like,
that's a good question.
yeah.
That's a really good question, because to get to where you want to be, you gotta know where you want to be first,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to know what to do today. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta know the destination so you know which road to take.
Yeah.
That's the foundation of everything. I guess that's why I do everything that I do today, because in 5 years, this is my goal. I don't share this to many people, but I've been cutting for a while,
Yeah.
and you're like a good client of mine, you're a good friend.
Yeah.
But in 5 years from now, what I want is in the middle of the week, let's say a Wednesday, 12 p.m. Usually people have work, right? What I want to be doing is calling my homies, my 3 homies, my 4 best friends, and asking them to play golf. And us being able to play golf in the middle of the week, and they can just drop what they're doing and actually play golf with me, because that's my goal, I guess.
Yeah.
Just my financial freedom, being able to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Mm.
So building up an empire is the solution. That's what I got to do today to be able to do that in 5 years.
I love that, man. I love that. That's awesome. And then with the compound brand, do you see other?
Oh, yeah.
Do you see other shops? Do you plan to move to other cities? Are there plans to do? Obviously, it might be a little early for that, but what do you see compound growing into?
So with my barbering, this is my passion. I don't see myself quitting barbering, because my clients are my best friends. I'm always gonna be cutting their hair. I'm gonna raise my price a little bit, but I'm still gonna be cutting the same people, because they're the same people that help me pay my bills. With compound, we're planning on second location right now. Hopefully in the next few years we have that, maybe west side or south side. And from there, I guess my goal, because we have 12 barbers, my goal is to keep them as family. I don't want to just be able to make money off of them. The goal is so everyone eats. That's always been my thing.
Yeah.
So for us to keep everyone, we're gonna have to give them opportunities too. It just can't be, we can't be greedy, right? For them to last a lifetime of friendship,
Yeah.
we can't just keep making money off of them. Like, I don't make money off of them right now. I only take the money that I make off my cuts. Everything else getting invested into our next shop, so that our barbers always eat too.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. That's noble of you. How has the pandemic been to the business? Like, how has it changed? you know, the business, and has it affected you guys?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely slowed down a lot because a lot of people are scared. Because barbers, we're super close to the clients. Obviously, we can't not be that close. It's just impossible.
Yeah.
And our barbers have been taking way longer on the haircuts, so less revenue, obviously, less cuts to do in longer amount of times. More cleaning, more everything, pretty
More
much.
protocol.
More protocol. So
Yeah. Yeah.
not only there's less clients, but there's more to do now.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
double.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting, man. Is there a piece of advice, or maybe for the young
Yeah.
for the young bucks out there that are, you know, maybe in high school, and they see you as like you know, an inspiration, and they see what you're doing, or maybe they've been thinking about getting into barbering, maybe they've been thinking to get into some, you know, content creation, or they want to start up a business but they don't know where to start, or they don't have the support from their family. What's some advice you can give to those guys and girls?
Yeah. So a good advice for younger people right now would be, don't ask people what they think. Just do it and then find out later with their response. Like, I'm not going to ask you, oh, I think I like barbering. Should I do barbering? I'm not going to do that. Listen to yourself. Just do it because you want to. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go out and post and be like, hey, guys, if I do this, are you going to support me? Just do it first and then find out what people are saying. Do your own thing. Do it just because you love to. And then another thing would be learn from those guys that already did it. That's another thing I just learned, actually, because those people are there because of the reason. Like, that's the reason why they're there, because they know what they're doing. They're on top for a reason, is what I'm trying to say. So learn from people that's already up. Learn from successful people. So find the person that you truly want to be. Find out what they do every single day, and then just model what they do. That's what I'm doing right now, actually, for my online course. I found out the top 1% of the course. I model exactly how they did it, and I'm just doing the same thing.
Yeah. And for those who, like, initially when you started, did you have to put a lot of money into yourself to get into barbering, or to get in, or was it just, you know, a couple $100 and you go at it? What was the process? Did you put in a lot of money at the beginning?
I was lucky because barbering, you just buy a pair of clippers to trimmers. It's only $300.
Yeah.
It could be a lot for some people, obviously. $300.
Yeah.
I was broke. I had to use my paycheck for it. But instead of buying shoes with it or buying anything useless with it, I knew I was putting in money into my career, which was barbering. I guess you just have to believe that this is the start.
Yeah, where does that confidence come from? Because I know, again, like, when you don't have anything and it's not manifested into the the reality, where did that confidence for you come from? When you made that in your head, you said, yes, this is what I'm gonna do. A lot of people at that time will be like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I have the skill.
A lot of regrets.
I don't know if I have the money. I don't know if I have this. I don't have that. For you, because I know that you said you do before you even think about those things. Is that what you do? Is just you attack what you want to do head on, and whatever comes out of it comes out of it? Or?
Yeah, I guess that's always been me. I always just do it and then find out how it goes. I mean, risking money is nothing. You always make money. So I guess that was part of why I just bought it and then find out later. For me, it's not as risky because buying hair clippers, I can always just cut for fun, right? It's not like going to college. How much is student loans?
You didn't get into barbering for the money. You got into because you actually love doing it.
I didn't know I was gonna make money off of it like that. Like, I didn't know I could make like 2 Christmases ago. Is it okay if I say, like, I cut 100 people a week, I'm charging $25? I made like 10,000 in 1 month.
Wow. Yeah.
But it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I could have done more.
Yeah.
It was like, oh damn, I made that much.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun for me. It was like unfair.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta find your passion, and you'll never have to work a day in your life.
Yeah.
That's what they always say, but it's kind of cliche, but it's true.
Yeah, and I love that because I think a lot of people do think a lot before they take, and by the time they think, they won't actually take the action to.
You talk yourself.
You talk yourself out of it. You talk yourself out of it. So I like that advice because I can relate to that big time.
Yeah.
No,
It's hard when no one supports you, right?
No, and I think you for me, I've always said this on the podcast is I think you have to have kind of this weird obsessive not weird but like obsessive confidence in yourself, and what you're trying to build. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think there has to be this, no matter what, this is happening, whether anyone likes it or not. It's just gonna happen. It's just a matter of time when it starts to actually show in the world, but it's gonna happen.
Maybe another thing that people think of when deciding is, what are people gonna think?
Yeah, that's a big
They're always
thing.
worried about what people are thinking.
That's
right?
a big thing, yeah.
I guess
Especially young people.
Young people are always insecure.
Mm-hmm.
They're always on Instagram. Everyone's judging them. Every
Yeah.
single post, even one little story,
Yeah.
they always think about it.
Yeah.
I guess for me, I never thought about what people are thinking. I just worry about, did I like it?
Yeah.
Am I gonna post this just because of me, or just because of other people?
Yeah.
I guess that's why people
Yeah.
talk themselves out of it.
They do, yeah. Yeah, and I think that's one thing for young people. That's a good advice is to stop looking at others and to just start, creating whatever that is, and learning. And I think when I was growing up, there wasn't, when I was in high school, Facebook was just coming up. Like Facebook just.
That's a while ago.
That was a long time. It was like a decade. I know, I'm old. But that was just coming up. Like it wasn't like it is now. Like YouTube was just becoming a thing. People were starting to make videos on YouTube, and they were YouTubers. That was a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
But now the climate, especially for high school students and even young guys in their 20s, you have all these platforms. You have all this knowledge sitting in Google that you can learn. Like you said, like for you want to learn how to do videos, or you want to learn digital marketing, you want to learn how to create courses or create merch. You can search it now, and you have tons of information and whatnot. For me, when I was growing up, that was just on the cusp. Like it was starting to, like it just was a new thing where you could just go on, YouTube and search something like a how-to or something and start doing it.
Yeah, this generation's lucky.
This generation's lucky, but at the same time, I feel like this generation is also lazy at the same time, and I feel like, and it's the same as ours. Like I'm kind of in the middle of I'm 27, so I'm still
you're
I'm in the borderline millennial, but what do you think of, because again, like we, especially guys your age, guys and girls, they expect things now to be instant. Like if I want food, I skip the dish.
dishes.
If I want something, it has to be immediate, right? With a business, with building a business, with building a skill set, it takes a couple years. It takes some time to do. For example, someone in your position, it took you years to get to this point.
Yeah.
Even as young as you are, it still took that time and effort. Like you said, you were doing 100 cuts a week, and you were, you're learning. You're sitting at home and learning how to do certain things and whatnot. It takes time and it takes effort. So, what's something that you can give to like, what do you think of that in terms of our age being as lazy as they are? What can they do to get out of the short-term gratification mindset?
I guess understanding that to master a skill, it needs about 10,000 hours. That's the main rule of thumb. It takes 10,000 hours to master a skill. For me, barbering was the skill. So the more hours I put in a week, the faster I get there to master my skill. So I was working 60, 70 hours. So I got to 10,000 hours in 3 years. So for whatever you're doing, understand it takes time. Understanding that. And don't compare yourself into people that are already successful. That's another thing, is they always look at, oh, I want to be this. This person's doing this.
Yeah.
How come I'm doing me and this person's doing them? I guess comparing is another thing.
Yeah.
Only compare yourself to the person you were yesterday. That's cliche, but that's super true.
Yeah.
Understand that it takes time. Like I was telling you earlier, me and my friends just rented out a studio last week, like literally a few days ago. And there's 6 of us, me and my friends. We all met through high school. We all played on the same basketball team. But these guys, they don't have any businesses yet. So for me to actually encourage them to rent out that place with them, I had to sort of, talk them into it. And yeah, they're the same people, like you said. They want it now. Like, are we going to take this risk? Like, are we going to get money right away? You know what I mean? Like, they expect something right away before it's even there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling them to get them to, like, sign the lease with me. I told them, yo, we're never going to get anything done if we don't start. They want the results before they even do it. You know what I mean? Like, if we just talk about it instead of doing it, it's never going to get done. So I told them, if we get the space, you guys put in the work, eventually in a year or 2, we're going to have a clientele of people that we work for, because we're going to be a marketing media company. So I guess I had to tell them, oh, obviously in the start, we're not going to have any clients.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And then eventually, if we put in the work and the hard work and the time, in a year or 2, that's when you'll be successful.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just like talking them into it.
Yeah. I feel you. I think that's it's a very difficult thing because of that mindset, and I think it's tough to
That's where it all starts, I guess.
But
it's
the
starts
mindset.
like
that. Yeah.
It's the mindset.
I think that's and I kind of asked this for a lot of we'll kind of end the podcast in with one question.
Okay.
And it's basically what the question is what does it take to be on the second floor? So what does it take to get to that next level? And from everything that you've been doing with Compound,
my personal experience,
from your personal experience, from everything that you've been doing, what does it take to get to the second floor?
Oh, this is gonna be an easy answer. Talk about this a lot. People think I don't do this, but I do, which is hard work. A lot of people say that because it's true. It's not because they just say it to say it. It's actually true. Now that I think about it, I worked so hard to get here. I put in the work to build up my clientele. And that was the foundation to everything that I do now, is my clientele. So whenever someone asked me for a haircut, I never said no. I just told them, yes, I have a spot for you. Come at this time, I'll fit you in. So just the little things. Even if I was already fully booked, I started cutting at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. So the little things, waking up early to fit a client in instead of saying no to someone. So late nights, would you rather go out or go to sleep so you can work early in the next day?
Mm-hmm.
It's the small decisions that I guess set me apart.
Yeah.
It's putting in the work.
Mm-hmm. And what different, like, so the work ethic is a very big piece.
Oh.
What is so with Compound,
Mm-hmm.
what's the differentiating factor from all the other barbers? I know you guys have built a nice brand, but is it just the brand? What separates you guys from all the other barbers and barbershops in the city?
Compound.
Mm.
What separates us?
Yeah.
Well,
is it the experience? Is it what is that? What is
just barber in general.
It could be barber, it could be the brand too. Like, what is that? Is it because because you guys are taking a different approach? You have those strategies of putting the the seating in the back. Like, there's what's the thing that gives you guys that differentiating factor?
I guess if you go to a regular barbershop, just any barbershop, you don't see 12 barbers. So our team, I guess building up the team was a big part of it. There's actually 12 of us, and each barber have their own connection. So our network is so big because there's so many of us. It's not just because they know compound, it's because they know each barber in there. So it's pretty much 12 of the best barbers in Edmonton. Imagine if you knew a barber from one shop. Because a lot of times barber shop from the barber. Oh, go to this shop, ask for this guy. Imagine if compound was all of those barbers into one. So it's the team members. Those guys are my gems. Those guys I have to take care of, every single one of them.
Yeah.
Because we've hired a lot of barbers. None of them left yet. And I don't plan them to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to the compound team, right?
Shout out to the team.
I know
one of our barbers are opening up his own shop, but we're still supporting him. We don't see competition like that.
Yeah.
We're all family. But shout out to the team, you guys holding it down. We got a new barber coming next week too, so there's gonna be 13 of us. And then one helper and then one assistant. So there's 15. Where do you see a barbershop with 15 people? That's already capacity. So
yeah, that's awesome.
So I guess just having a team, it's like a basketball team.
Yeah,
it's not just one player.
Yeah,
there's a coach, there's shooting guard, like the dream team. Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
they have Klay Thompson, Curry.
Yeah, you guys are the Golden State Warriors, baby. You guys
Golden State Warriors of 3 years ago. Not
not now, obviously. No, that's sweet, man.
That's the biggest thing, I guess.
Yeah, and I really love what you guys are doing with the brand too. I think that you and Jules and the compound team, I think, have you guys are looking beyond what it means to be a just a barber shop. I think you guys are taking it way beyond that, and that's love and that's respect. Thanks, for you guys, especially you and Jules. But is there anything you want to leave off for our audience? I'm gonna leave one thing. Could be a piece of advice, could be a question for the audience. What do you want to leave them today?
Oh, I said a lot of things today in this podcast. It's hard to remember what I said. But yeah. One thing.
Could be a couple things too. Whatever you like.
What did I say already? That's the thing.
Yeah,
I said
a lot. you have said a lot. So
nuggets in there.
Yeah.
One thing. Young entrepreneurs. I was an immigrant. 11 years old. I came here. My parents were not rich. I dropped out of high school. We were renting. No big house, nothing like that. It's possible if you work hard. I'm a living example. I wasn't supposed to be here. I wasn't set up for success. But with hard work, anything's possible. Just use your resources. I guess for me, I was a barber, so all of my connections were my clients. So just use what's available to you. If you have a friend that's successful, don't be scared to ask. That's how many things did I say already?
Oh yeah, you said.
But but you know what I mean. Just start today.
Yeah.
Start today. First step is start.
I like that. Mic drop. Alec, brother, I I appreciate you coming on to the second floor. No I learned a lot today from what you said, and I hope that our audience took a lot of gems out of this episode. Where can people find you? Here's the time to plug in. Where can people find you? Where can people find Compound? Add all those plugs right now.
Okay. My Instagram is Alec Barbero. My barbershop is Compound Cut Club. It's actually in Chinatown of Edmonton, 10652 98th Street. We're open 5 days a week. Like I said, 13 barbers now. Book with any one of us. I'm currently fully booked. Don't book with me. But if you're an aspiring barber watching this, I have an online course for you that talks about how to cut hair, which clippers to use, all of that. And not just that, how to market and retain clients. So that's the biggest thing. Barbers only want to teach how to cut hair. That's half of the work. You gotta market to gain new clients and retain to keep the new clients, make them yours. So yeah, if you're a barber, check out thebusybarber.com for my online course.
That's awesome.
That's it.
Thanks, Alec. And we're going to have all those links to find Alec on his course, everything that he's doing. It's all going to be in the description. So make sure to go check him out. Thanks. Alec, brother, thank you again for coming on the second floor. I'm so excited to see what you do in the next couple years. And hopefully we'll have another. Yeah, hopefully we'll have you on again and have Jules on as well. So thanks so much, man.
Yeah, no problem. Hopefully someone learned even a little bit from this, because that's the whole goal, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I learned something, so I hopefully the audience did too.
That's good enough for me. You don't even have to publish this anymore, bro.
It's good. We're
not
good.
Publishing. Hey, as long as something, bro.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.